There we go. Alright, this is gonna be fun, you guys. Just want to get over here and put my money away before everything stops. Oh, buddy, am I nervous? See, that didn't take me long. There was a bank right up the street.
No, it didn't. Rebel should be here soon, I hope.
Oh lord, I can't wait to see his fucking gay character.
I know, I already saw the video of it, so I was like laughing.
Shoot, I can't go to prison with heels, so it takes those real quick.
Yup. You know you don't have to make that character now, right?
Oh, I'm just making it
What?
now, just in case.
Yeah, just in
Okay.
case, that's a smart idea. That actually is a smart idea, you know.
right.
What type of shoes do prisoners wear?
I think it's
Boots?
orange shoes. Yeah, orange shoes or something like that. I do remember that.
Like basic shoes?
Something
yeah.
like that. I'm not positive.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have to make one for my character too. Hang on.
We don't need to do that now. We can always make it when we're in the jail.
You're right.
I wanna
Alright.
just... Yeah, true, but I'm just gonna finish this real quick. I'm already halfway done.
Yeah, he is. Because his character got in trouble.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah. So, my, attorney is gonna be on late.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even have an attorney. I just realized this.
Haha, I got one for loss, but I don't have one for app now.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking attorney, so... Oh, well.
You'll just admit it guilty.
I already admitted in front of him.
Now, I don't know if the Mika have to be on here because he got in trouble for that. I don't know.
You might want to check. You might want to check.
Let me ask Rebel. He's the only one that would know.
Yeah, check with Rebel.
Because she... Yeah, I'll ask him.
I'm really struggling with the pants.
Right. Y'all can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, I have my mic on red.
I'm really not finding red sweatpants, orange sweatpants.
I don't know. Okay, so you're still working on it. Oh,
Okay, I
I'm
just
available.
messaged him.
and
I'll wait until he responds back. He didn't respond yet. I just messaged him just now.
okay, what's the number above my head, anyways?
11.
Nice. At least I'm not unlucky 13.
Yeah, you have arms. He said if they call you as a witness. I don't think they did. I don't think so.
They might. Because, remember the thing you and Buffy did? We did at the
Yeah.
second place?
Yeah. Well,
This
he
girl's
said
gonna get caught for that, too.
okay. Yeah, he said my other character does not have to be there for that one. I'm just here for the one where me and you did the
You're
stealing
lucky.
cars.
You're lucky.
I know. That's what. Yeah. Because they all felt
There.
bad because my internet just kept kicking me off. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Buddha's.
How's this?
Aw, Buddha's having problems. Damn.
That's okay. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Okay,
Right.
I'm spawning into my character.
What
and
number
there we
is
go.
on my head?
Lucky
8.
number 8.
Ooh.
Let's go in and have a seat.
So wait, are we hearing yours first or what? Your case?
Buddha calls it whoever he calls first.
I don't know who's first.
Yeah, we don't know
Ooh.
who's first. Could be me. Could be Athmel. We'll see.
It could be it could be Rebel. I don't know. Rebel should be here
Whoever's
soon.
Okay.
first.
So, wait, you go in the middle. You, Toru. Ah. Okay, so how to sit is actually pretty simple. So you have to stand like this, not on the chair, right, like on the floor, right in front, like that. Okay, F6, and you scroll down to sit chair. You're really far away,
No shit.
Meg
Yeah.
or Toru.
Toru, you're far away, hun.
You're really far away. Like right there, and then turn your character a little until you're like right in front of the chair.
Don't push me out of the fucking way, hun.
Sorry. Is this good?
But now try scrolling down in the emotes to sit chair. There, and there you go. Ooh, it's very far, but yeah. You're hovering a bit. You're no, Meg.
It's okay. This is hilarious. I love it.
What's this called? Going in first person and backing up helps a lot. And then just do it, and then bam, there we go. Now I'm sitting correctly. Going in first person and then just backing up little by little helps a lot. Like looking forward and then backing up, not looking at the chair. Wait, oh. You should try right there. There you go. Toru got it. Up to you, Meg.
I'm trying.
I just
Good
realized.
thing I don't,
I just
retarded.
realized all of us have the same hair.
I know. And I see
God.
Buddha. He was walking in just a second ago. Where's Rebel? I better message Rebel.
Yeah, you might want to get him here fast.
It's okay, Meg.
Buddha's having problems
This is
again.
a really nice courtroom. There you go. Toru got it. To you, Meg. Oh, right there. Slowly forward. Slowly until your character just goes down. Right. Oh, a little bit more. Just dab W one more time. You're
She
hovering.
got it. She's
Oh,
alright.
Leave me
she's hovering.
alone.
Unexpected. Okay.
Okay, now we just wait here.
Yep.
Right there. Stop.
Already.
Right there. Right there. Now sit. There you go. She got
There
it.
you go. Yay. I already messaged him. He didn't get back to me yet. I said, "Are you coming?"
Okay. What?
Wait, who's that in front of us?
That's Buddha. Oh no,
Oh.
that's. I think
Yeah.
that's Onyx.
Well, he left.
Might be Onyx.
I don't know.
Oh,
No,
they
I think
just
that was
popped up
Buddha
there.
because he just
Oh yeah, no,
left.
that's his
He'll
AI.
be back.
Yep, that's his AI.
Oh.
Okay. Looks like he's coming. I can see him on the purple right now.
Okay. Well,
Not
I
sure
hope
where.
you remember to lock your car.
Oh, I deleted it.
Oh, I locked mine. Mine's outside locked.
Yeah, I just deleted it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna tow my car, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it.
No, not really. At least they shouldn't.
I'm not
Fucking
sure where he's
nerds.
going, but he's just driving around in circles. Oh, Buddha's back.
Yep.
By the way, Meg, I still have my inventory items.
Yeah, that was recently fixed today.
Okay.
He's back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What was that?
Okay. I don't think he could hear us from this area, but like, wow.
If you like turn it to the blue or red, they can't hear you very well. So, what I usually do.
I'm surprised no one else is here.
No. Rebel should be
We
here
started in
soon,
like
but
half
I
hour.
didn't. I know. I just messaged him.
Right. Literally
Yeah.
said we saw that.
He said anything, but that was funny.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't think he could hear us. So yay.
No, because
No, because
my
our
mic
mics are
is
different
on red.
colors. Mine's on red.
Yeah, mine's on red. Mine's on red.
Oh shit, mine's on green.
You
Oh,
better
he can
switch
hear
that to red.
you.
Do you
He
know?
can't hear me or her.
Yeah.
Page up.
There, I switched it
Push.
to red.
Push. Yeah, push up. It
There,
should
it's on red
change
now.
the color. Good job.
We don't let the three stooges the same hair.
I know. It's so
Mhm.
funny. But me and Meg have different color hair. Hers is
Yeah.
more like
Mine's
a
a brighter
reddish.
red. Mine's a brighter
Yeah,
red.
hers is like a. Yeah, hers looked like a natural red, while yours looks like a dyed red.
Like it has a little bit of
Red.
orange in it.
Yeah, yours has a little bit of orange. Oh god, there's someone back
Oh.
there. In the chair, someone just sat down over there.
Uh,
I think it's an NPC. I don't know.
Not sure. He messaged Rebel,
No,
but
that's
he
an
didn't say
attorney.
anything to
That's
be
an
it.
attorney.
Oh.
Think
Wait,
that's an AI.
just stand up. Sit back down. F6. Emote. Sit.
I'm gonna message again. I want to see where he's at.
Okay. Oh, you both stand up? Why?
It makes you stand up when you're trying to send a message.
Yeah, when you press a button, it
yeah.
makes you stand up.
Okay. It didn't for me when I was typing out OC.
Oh, Buddha disappeared. He's not in front anymore.
Where'd he go?
Oh no. Magic.
Take your time, girl. Try and sit.
There you go.
Nicely done.
He just messaged me back. He's like, driving. You at the court?
Tell him, yeah, we're at the court.
There you go.
He said he was driving around, so we'll see if he's gonna come before 8.
Right.
Yes, time still.
Okay, I see him and I think he's coming right now. Yeah, I see the purple dot, because I haven't tracked.
Here's Buddha.
I see that.
Shit.
They're both coming, so he's getting close to us.
Oh, God. This is our first court.
How do you
I
type like
know.
that?
Slash
You
me.
just say slash me,
Oh,
slash me.
slash me.
And then whatever you want.
Yep. There's Rebel.
Over here, Rebel.
If he sits down over there, that's sass. Oh, that's sass. Oh, he got back up. How fucking dare he
Rebel
sit
sees us.
far away from us. Wow. How it is, Rebel.
He's like, what? He's
Get over
number
here.
12.
Now we know Buddha's in the back. Oh, that's Silos. That's Silos. 92.
He sits at bench.
Is it slash sit chair? Let me check. Yes, it's slash e sit chair. Saw that. There you go. He got it.
He got it. Rebel's not here yet, so he might be a while.
Okay.
He's probably, I could see the dot, so he didn't go all the way in yet.
Typical Rebel.
Oh, we know that. He's funny.
Hmm.
And Rebel's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see Buddha behind that wall.
He's there. I see his number. He's there.
He used his number, not his head. He's tiny. Oh, there's Rebel.
What's up, bro?
Can y'all look any more alike each other?
That's what I
Holy
said!
crap.
How you doing, Rebel?
Doing fine. I'm glad y'all sound different, because then I know who the hell I'm talking to. Jesus.
Right.
I'm sorry, Rebel.
Rebel, that outfit is unprofessional.
That's his Minecraft
Huh?
shirt. Leave him alone.
You need a professional outfit on for in court.
I'll come to court in this shirt, and he liked it, I think.
Okay. Oh god, behind you. Oh, he sat down. Oh,
I said I think. I
I see
But-
Buddha just sat down over there.
now
Yeah,
we
but I
can
also
see.
I don't think he can hear us, so we should be alright.
Yeah, we're fine. We've been
Right.
talking this entire time.
Now, he said something about my clothing when I stood before him wearing this shirt, and, he said something about thanks for coming dressed up, and I told him I wore my church best, you know?
That
Which
was sarcasm.
technically,
Okay.
Right.
well, technically it isn't a lie. It's my church best. This is what I wear to club church. It was my church best.
Okay.
So, just saying.
You sitting by me, girl?
Meg,
Or are you gonna sit by
Meg, get
Head?
closer to me. Yeah. Either sit next to your boyfriend or yeah.
Onyx just
Not
got
sure.
on.
I'll
There.
just make it easy on you.
Just do /E sit chair.
Oh, buddy, here we go. Shit's about to go down, y'all. In a good way. I hope.
Go to jail.
I'm going to jail. You mean?
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to fucking jail.
Although, depending on how many cops show up, I may have to switch over to Jack.
So I did get a hold of Tanner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's gonna be like getting on.
Is he your
Yep.
lawyer?
Yep.
Nice.
Couldn't find him. Had to had Buffy TM me. But
I
yeah.
can't wait till Jeremiah's trial. I can't wait.
I'm nervous about Ahmal the most. Actually, I'm nervous about both.
I have such a good plan for Jeremiah. He's going
Oh
to jail,
Lord.
guarantee. Guarantee he's going to jail.
Oh Lord, I can't
No doubt
wait
in my
for
mind.
this. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, me neither. Get to figure out what's gonna happen.
Right.
I just can't say because I don't know if he can hear us, but I don't want Buddha knowing. It's a surprise.
No, for a fact,
Oh.
Buddha heard loyal over there.
Oh yeah, he
Earlier
was
until he
hearing me
changed
talking
it.
shit. He was hearing me talking shit. Just not
Isn't that
saying
from the
anything.
trial,
Thank you for being
loyal?
respectful.
It's not good when the judge hears you talking shit. He's just gonna, like, throw the book at you. Literally.
Which
Good.
I
Like,
am
pick up
gonna
his
be
plate and
honest.
throw it at
When
you.
he does, I'm gonna laugh my fucking ass off.
Yeah, the
Oh,
book
you.
you throw it at me. Throw it at me, daddy.
Oh, I need to go somewhere and change my job.
There's a
I'm
job
sitting
here.
What, a
here as a
gigolo?
drug dealer.
Onyx came on.
Yup.
Change it to what, a gigolo?
Onyx.
Well, I'm sitting here as a drug dealer.
Loyal, you're gonna get your ass whooped.
Why?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
By the way, it said owner join, so that means the actual owner?
I think that's somebody
I'm not
who's
sure
new.
who. I don't know who's owner. I forget.
Can number 12 hear us or nah? We're too close over here.
No, with the red mic, he can't hear us, and we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. There's your answer. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Who
Oh,
was that
area
just ran
patrol.
out of here?
Oh, that was Rebel.
Was
That
Rebel.
Of
yeah, he'll be back.
course. Of course it was. He
That
better
was
be back
Rebel.
in a fucking suit and tie.
That's what I told him. Tell him, text him. He has to change now.
I think that's where he went.
How you doing, Buddha?
I do.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Buddha, you're funny. You know that.
I knew you would keep.
Who,
I knew you could
me?
hear him.
Yeah, you. Because we saw you
Yeah,
punch
but
the other
looks
guy
on
that was.
everything.
Yeah, no, we
Okay.
literally sat here and watched you punch a clone.
Yeah, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, buddy.
He had green hair.
Uh-huh. This is gonna be a fun night.
Yeah, it will.
I'm gonna have to run upstairs and get something to drink real quick because I know I'm gonna laugh.
Alright.
I mean, I got half a soda on me, but I'm gonna need another one.
I think that's Onyx right there.
Evening, Your
My
Honor.
brother. What's going on, dude?
It's called Taru.
Yeah.
Taru?
I
Is it
had
okay
to
record
add,
while I-
re-add myself to the judge to get that to work, Onyx.
Is it okay to record,
Okay.
Taru?
What did you say?
Is it okay to record?
And plus, you want to know what's funny? Is I
don't
watched
know.
Rebel's recording of that of the last time
Okay, so you
court.
can't.
That was funny as fuck.
Good.
Loyal wants to know if he can record.
Yeah, well, you can record.
Okay.
You just can't
good. I
stream
have it
from the
set up.
server, but you can record.
Okay, good.
There's Onyx.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi, Onyx.
Good to see y'all. Hope you don't go to jail.
Oh, I'm
I
going
know
to
for a
jail.
fact Aphmel's going to jail.
Yeah, I don't share his sentiment.
I don't know.
My God.
But I like your character, Onyx. You look cool.
You do
I'm the
look cool.
prosecutor. Kind of have that cross between old hippie with his hair pulled back and an asshole. That's kind of.
Judge said you need to go
He
change.
was a lawyer in the '60s
He walked
fighting
away.
for equal rights and
Who needs to change?
these
You
things.
do,
change.
Rebel.
You
You
do.
need to
If
go.
you change.
Yeah.
You need to go change.
You disrespectful bastard.
Why do I gotta go change?
This is court.
So? I don't got
How
court
many
today.
bikers show up to court and they're friggin' cuts, dude?
I don't got court today.
Just change.
Not on that
You're
character.
right.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want the one that has court to be here all the time. Trust me. No, I am changing.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Ask No Pants Mike what happened to him showing up in court like that.
What did happen, if I can ask?
Yeah. What happened?
Got held in contempt.
Oh.
Andy went to jail.
Oh.
Oh, shit. This is gonna be funny. There he is.
There he is. He's back.
There you go. That's better.
Well, you guys don't even know who this guy is.
Lord.
Onyx, so this is my guy that I made for it, by the way.
Made for what?
Oh, fucking hell. Tonight, you guys, tonight is gonna be fucking fun. It's already started.
Markiplier. I love that name.
Back down to the city.
Oh, there's an Excalibur.
Oh, Jesus.
What the hell?
There's an Excalibur.
Oh, you got it working.
How are we hearing him
That
outside?
dude slammed me right.
Oh,
I
that's
have
what's
no
playing.
freaking clue.
You're not. You guys had the TVs going.
Oh, I was wondering where I was coming from.
Yeah, that was the dash cam.
Oh,
That was cool.
Yeah, I got the TVs working in here.
That's
That's
so cool.
badass.
That's
Oh,
pretty
you
cool.
do? Look at that.
That was really cool. I like that. That was awesome.
I thought my computer opened up like one of his streams or something, and I looked up and his dash cam footage was on the TV.
Same.
You just threw us
Well,
all off.
Sadly,
other
we
channels
won't
I
need
got?
that dash cam footage because from what I understand, that guy's deceased.
Oh, is he?
Oof.
Yep, I believe that defendant is deceased.
That's sad.
It's always sad when a scumbag gets his comeuppance.
Hey, Buddha,
Right.
where are you posting your Facebook link, bud?
Probably Twitter when I go
Gotcha.
live.
Or just go to Facebook and type in Buddha he'll be the first one. It's his same logo.
Okay. Wasn't sure. Because I have his Facebook page open right now.
Yeah, make sure you turn the notifications on. If you follow the page with that little follow thing, that it should give you. You can turn on notifications, I think, for it.
Yep.
Okay.
And all the criminals file in.
oh God. Why is there? There's more guys than there is girl criminals. Got it.
Shut up, Loyal.
Yeah, but they're in here for petty crimes.
That's
You
just
guys are in
because
here
men
for
tend to
murdering
be
people.
dumber.
Oh, that makes sense.
If I'm in jail being brought to court, where do I go?
No, I don't.
Probably court.
But those
I can
titties-
walk you back there real quick. Hold.
Oh yeah. Caught behind us, man spreading.
Mhm.
I should have got with you ahead of time, Boot, and got the docket.
It'll be like last time. I've got the CAD open and I went to the lawyer section and I just started searching last name A and then clicked on arrest, and I'm gonna start at the bottom and go up. I'll let any continuances that are ready go first though.
My lawyer's not here yet.
Don't even have a lawyer and yet you're complaining.
That's unfortunate.
Whatever, I'm going to jail, I know. push to talk.
I am on push to talk and move.
I am too. So, no worries.
Oh, wow. Wow, Buddha's out of character. I totally read that wrong.
What?
Oh.
Your OOC chat, I thought you said to bring your mouth and know the stuff and prepare. I read it way wrong. Way wrong.
You know, somewhere around here, I have a discount coupon to Lens Crafters.
I already have glasses.
Ba, ba, ba. I have a feeling several folks are going to jail tonight.
Same.
But what made that funny is you could
You
hear
got
Buddha
that right.
rustling around on his desk while he was looking for that coupon.
Yeah. I held a stack of papers up to the mic. You like that?
I did actually.
I learned that from the old days of being forced to listen to fuck, what's that fat guy's name on the radio? Always wore a
Rush
suit.
Limbaugh?
Rush
Gotta be more
Limbaugh, yeah, because he'd
specific.
be like, I got a fax here. And I always thought, like, do we really need to hear it to believe you have a fax?
Lord. Now we're just waiting for everybody to get on.
Yep.
Yep. Waiting for the other attorneys to be here. Yeah, I figure I'll go with the continuances. I know there's a couple cases that did repair Onyx from last time. And then we'll just start going up. There's only 22 arrests, and some of them are from last time. And then we have a bunch of citations to go through, but those shouldn't take too long. Oh my God, the Jaeger bomb's coming back up.
Roro Raggy.
Just a Jaeger bomb burp.
I'm sorry, I had to. There's Excalibur.
Wasn't we supposed to start 5 minutes ago?
Yup.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'll give people some extra time.
Anyone that's late go straight to jail.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or at least
I didn't want to
started
start
on
until the other attorney was here. I know. Where's Raya at?
Do I have
I
to
just
be
sent him a
there? 'Cause I'm going
DM.
direct
I'm
to
not
jail.
sure.
Oh, man,
That
do I
Captain
have to go up
Picard
there?
back there?
I think it's powder.
Walked in here like Gandhi.
Who's the naked guy wearing a
John?
trench coat sitting next to a cat?
It's E/sit chair / E sit chaired, bud.
Don't be
Walk off a
standing
little
on
bit.
it.
Walk off.
What is he
walk off
wearing?
an inch. He's
What is he
a
wearing?
bathrobe.
Trench coat?
Okay,
And
you need to go
nothing under it.
change, bro. You need to go get some respectable clothes on. Or you won't be heard tonight.
He's walking so drunk.
Yeah. Totally
I'm getting him for
humorous.
the
Buddy.
drunk tank.
Don't think he knows what to do. What's up, Excalibur?
He'll figure it out.
Eventually.
Ba, ba, ba. Onyx, that looks so nice behind me up there on the wall.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say? Powered by what?
There goes X's feet.
The
Hypnomena?
script- Yeah, that's the script.
Oh,
name.
is it? That looks cool. So what do? We don't have any. We don't have a defense attorney.
Is Tanner coming?
I thought I
He's
saw him
supposed
log
to,
on.
but he said he was going to be late.
He's on.
I don't know.
Where
I
he's
sent
at.
Rye DM.
Okay. Rye might have fallen asleep again.
Right.
But yeah, it shows he's online on Discord, but of course that could just mean it's open.
Yeah. Do.
Not to make y'all jealous or anything, but I'm over chewy chips.
Are you?
That's
I
all right.
plan on
I got
knocking
Flamin'
out
Hot
this
Cheetos
entire.
upstairs.
I'm gonna knock out this entire bag of them. Whatever they're called, tray.
If you're hungry.
See, I told you, brother. Don't fret. You'll find it after a month of this full time.
I got a
Don't fret.
I got a whole bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos waiting on me upstairs.
I can't eat them things. You can light those on fire with a lighter.
So, you guys, it looks like if you guys want to bribe the judge or the DA, just bring them powder for their wigs.
This is not powder.
I
This
see
is
why that
gray hair
character
from
yours
dealing
has
with
sass.
scumbags my entire adult life.
What was that, Loyal?
The judge is.
Tanner,
You guys think
character
he's
is
in his
full of sass.
70s. My judge is only 27. I mean,
Wow.
37.
Damn.
Tanner, I can't hear you.
Definitely don't age well.
Tanner Banana. Need to be on the red talk thing there, brother. I can't hear you, but you may need to fill in. Rye's not here.
Oh, Rye's not here at all?
So I don't know where he's at. I sent him a DM. I don't know if he fell asleep or if something came up.
Gotcha. All right. So who
Yeah,
else
but
am I going to be
we're
adding to
waiting
my?
for an attorney.
Gotcha.
I mean,
So who all am I going to
yeah,
be
I mean-
defending for?
Well, I mean, I'll do like I normally do, where I read out the charges and stuff, and you know, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, you can just pontificate and do your thing.
Okay.
and if
Fair
it's
enough.
one that you think really is going to need some prep work, you can always get a continuance if you have to.
Fair enough.
We seem to usually have at least a minute or two before the person called gets up there, so you can quickly type it into the CAD and review it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anybody know what the prison top number is?
Mm-mm.
Hold on. I
Did-
got you.
Did
Okay,
that
never mind,
did
never
that
mind,
change
never
up,
mind, I
mess
got
up the clothing one too?
Probably.
It's
I
going
don't know
to
unless
be,
the EUP is working for the prison.
It's upper body number 93 for shirts and overlays.
There you go, Loyal.
Okay. Buffy was asking. I think she got it though.
You said 93?
Yep, 93.
He's gonna fix his character real quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's different for females. Never mind.
Alright, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Damn!
Uh-oh, that was a bad idea. I drank the wrong thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Leave the
Damn, I
prosecutor
don't think he
alone.
knows where
over
to go.
Mm-mm.
there. Is that
Buffy?
Tim? Come on back behind the judge. There's a door back there with the where the holding cells are.
Onyx grabbed that bottle of Jack instead of that bottle of water.
Yup.
No, I accidentally grabbed that tongue.
All right, I'm gonna get this started. I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Is this Buffy next to me?
Yes, that is.
I think so.
Her character name's
Hey,
Pam.
Buffy.
Hey, what's up?
Just remember, folks,
Nothing
when
much.
court's in session, keep the talking to a minimum because it
Hi, Pam.
travels.
How are you?
I got it.
Gotcha.
I'm good. Is that Nova? Wait,
Yes.
who is that?
Uh,
Is that Josh?
It's
One next to
murky.
you, yeah.
That is I.
What's up? Hey, Murky.
Yeah, Josh should be here. Today's his continuance, so.
I'm right here. I hear it's court day.
Yeah, it's right here.
Cool.
I just don't look like Jesus anymore.
That's a good thing.
But no, see, I see your tattoo on your
Hey,
neck.
there's
That
Rai.
is you.
Rye just got on Onyx.
Calm down.
Oh, don't you look fancy?
Had some help.
Y'all playing silent seat chairs over there?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're being silent.
Personal space.
Look, I got pushed over to you, okay?
No, you're
Hey,
fine.
Josh,
You're
can I
sitting
talk
on
with you
me.
for a second?
Oh, okay.
Josh.
Hey, y'all
Hello?
make sure too, if you can't hear,
One
that you
sec,
have your
Tanner. One
voice
sec.
on red. Push to talk on red.
Gotcha.
Wait, I didn't hear him. What did you say, Onyx?
Push the top on red.
Okay.
I'll meet you out in the lobby in a second.
Do you have to have it on the push to talk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't want to run the risk of background noise.
Okay. If I change over to that, what do I gotta push?
And
Press escape.
That's
go
what I
to-
figured.
Oh, N is in Nancy.
Okay.
Hey, that's
Kind of
my
like the
name.
phone. All right.
How Buffy's like poking you.
I know, because it doesn't want to work right. Give me a sec.
Go into first person, look at the chair, turn around, and then sit down. Yay!
Screw it. I'll just leave it.
Where did our defense lawyer go?
Went out to talk to one of his clients.
Gotcha. All right. All right. This session of the Los Santos Municipal Court is in session officially. We'll start with We'll start with the ones. We'll start calling the ones that receive calls to answer charges. All right. Blade James. Blade James. Is he in the courtroom? Take it that's a no. Okay. Blade James P. All right. Bondurant, Forrest R. Forrest R. Bondurant, are you in the courtroom? All right. Clarence Thompson. No Clarence Thompson. Josh Daniels.
Which one's incoming?
One Mr. Janis, first name Hugh.
Is there a Hugh Janis in the courtroom?
Noah Williams is the next name on the list. Bill Porter. Baker Cherry. And Stones Smoky. I'm assuming none of those are here tonight. All right, DA, I'm going to move that those call to answer be amended to bench warrants through the Sheriff's Department.
We'd be in total agreement with that, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, next are going to be continuances. Is the defense attorney back in the room? Or is he still meeting with his client?
I am here,
yes.
Your Honor.
Okay. What clients do you have with you? Let's just do it that way.
Well, one of the continuances I have is a Josh Gonzalez from last month.
Okay, perfect. Let me pull that up real quick.
Of course, Your Honor.
Good. Josh, get up.
My apologies.
I also, Your Honor, have a Donald Trumbull and a Meg Simmon on my paperwork.
Okay, on Mr. Gonzalez, I'm looking at his charges. Possession, manufacture, sale of prohibited weapons, possession of narcotics while armed, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of controlled substance with intent to distribute. Was also found with 424 illegal AK-47s, a combat pistol that did not belong to him, and 287 M4A1 illegal rifles, amidst a myriad of other various illegal weapons, and looks like a veritable laundry list of drug paraphernalia and individually packaged drugs.
Oh god, I'm nervous. I'm nervous like hell, you guys. I'm nervous.
Okay, so I'm assuming Mr. Gonzalez has had time to prepare for his case. We'll go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to the DA, and we'll start with what they're seeking, and then we'll turn it over to you. Okay?
Of course, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. DA, you can go ahead.
Your Honor, these are very serious charges that Mr. Gonzalez is charged with here, multiple felonies and misdemeanors. The possession, manufacture, sale of prohibited weapons, Title 16590A, carries a fine of up to $10,000 and prison.
That is correct.
The possession of narcotics while armed, HS 11370.1, also carries a fine of up to $10,000 and a jail time of 2, 3, or 4 years. We would, of course, be seeking the maximum, Your Honor, on these charges, since they're clearly Mr. Gonzalez has no regard for the law or the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the great state of San Andreas.
Okay. Is the arresting officer here tonight? Looks like a sheriff's deputy, Nick Frost.
I haven't seen him in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Defense, you have the floor.
Your Honor, while indeed these are egregious charges against my client, upon review of the body cam footage, which the court graciously provided, I find it hard to believe that he was in possession of even half, even a quarter of these alleged illegal items. Mr. Gonzalez was seen on a motorcycle, Your Honor. I do not believe it to be possible for him to be carrying, what was it, a couple hundred firearms in a motorcycle.
Well, you do make a good point. Do we have that body cam footage available tonight? I don't know if we do or not.
I have not received that footage link. If the defense attorney provided, I could just. You want to text that over to me there? Take a peek.
Give me 1 second.
All right. In the meantime, Mr. Gonzalez, what do you have to say for yourself?
If anything, yes, the fact that, I was indeed on a motorcycle, but the fact as soon as I received off the motorcycle, the officer was shouting stop, but there were 2 of us at the scene. I was assaulted by a man, and I was the one that was tased and detained, yet I was the assaultee. I was one who was the assaulted, not the other gentleman. And from there on, I kind of do feel that my constitutional rights were violated.
Okay, but regardless of the amount, are you denying you had any illegal items of those items on you at all?
I am. No way I could have
so you're
all
saying
that
you're saying that the confirmed amounts in evidence, in police evidence, that was completely planted on you and fabricated.
Not fabricated or planted, Your Honor. The fact that the amount that I did have on me as far as
Okay, that's not the question I
asked
you. I asked you if you're denying you had any of those items illegally on you. Any of those illegal items. So are you denying that you had any of those at all, or are you saying you had some of them, not all of them?
Some, but not all.
Okay, so what
Your
would
Honor,
some look like?
Has Mr. Gonzalez entered a plea yet on these charges?
I haven't given him a chance yet. Actually,
Okay.
that's not true. He pled not guilty last time and asked for continuance.
Okay. As soon as I get the body cam footage, Your Honor, we'll play that on the
Okay.
screen.
Perfect. So, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to ask you the question again. When you say some, what does that? What? Give me a number. What does that look like? What is some of the illegal items?
At this particular time, I'd like to plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. All right, that's fine.
Mr. Gonzalez, your alleged civil rights violations is your intention? Is that your intention? Is to plead not guilty based on technicalities from the officer, or what? Stating there.
If I'm being quite honest, I couldn't understand. You kept cutting out there. My apologies. I couldn't hear you.
No problem. So, are you intending to plead not guilty based on the civil rights violations?
Civil rights
The alleged
violations
civil
and
rights violations.
yes, the alleged. Correct.
Okay.
But I'm not going to self-incriminate myself on the other things as well. That I'm pleading the fifth on both of those.
Well,
Understood.
I mean,
Understood.
you did say you had some, so technically you've already incriminated yourself. And if you don't care to give an amount, because you think that you can play it down like that, that's absolutely fine. But that's also going to be chalked up to a lack of cooperation.
You want? Okay, I could be fair with that. The amount, I would say, was about right. But some of the items that were listed on what I was found in my possession, I do believe were completely inaccurate, because a couple of those items I did not have in my possession at the time of the arrest.
Okay, which item? So let's just for conversation's sake, let's leave the M4s and the AKs out of the equation. Okay. From what I can tell, let's see here. All right, so
Your Honor.
yes.
So at this time, due to the fact that the officer is not present and the body cam footage is, as of this moment, unavailable for viewing,
Wait,
I'm
Your Honor,
either
may we
moving
approach the bench?
Yeah, let's have the attorneys approach the bench, please.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, here's the thing, Your Honor. Upon looking at the charges, looking at the amount that the officer is stating, not to mention the various other weapons, not just the M4A1s and, the assault rifles that he allegedly had, the officer is also stating he had a combat shotgun, that he had a pistol on him, that he had what could amount to be kilos of drugs on him. I do not see it being even possible, unless he's walking around with a giant bag on his arm and then, like, a fleet of motorcycles behind him, Your Honor. And no, and I completely understand, but again, where is the proof that it came from his person? Yeah, I received a link from the officer who had done the arresting. I went to actually go back into that link to send it over. It's not valid anymore. I can't even gain access to it.
I don't have access to that body cam footage at this. I did, however, just receive a text message from the officer. I did receive a text message from the officer. I believe he may be en route.
I would like to go to a jury trial, Your Honor, due to the fact that since there is no body cam footage, that's a little, in my book, that's a little suspicious that body cam footage is not available to the DA. No offense to the DA, but
Your Honor, I believe Officer Frost has just arrived. Make sure you're on red there, brother.
Mr. Frost, would you approach the bench, please, Officer Frost?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. I submitted body cam footage, actually. Well, I believe the body cam footage expires after 60 days, doesn't it?
Not when it's evidence for court.
Let's see.
Your Honor, barring any additional motions from the defense, I would request to set this for continuance or set it for jury trial, whichever.
Your Honor, I know he had numerous weapons, numerous drugs. He did have a big, almost hiker-style backpack on him, as well as he had all the weapons were pretty much disassembled and put into his bags, I guess, for easy carry, for transport.
Objection, Your Honor. So you're telling me, officer, that my client miraculously was able to fit, even in 20 bags on his person, over almost 500 fully sized weapons, M418s and AK-47s.
Disassemble, that's not that difficult.
Sounds good to me, Your Honor. Mr.
I can
Defense
agree to that,
Attorney,
Your
by the
Honor.
way, I didn't catch your name. What?
Francis McLanigan. I work with Liberty Law, or work at Liberty Law.
Flanagan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll contact you, sir. We can set up a meeting to review that prior to the next hearing.
All right. Agreed.
And Mr. McClanahan, I'm correct that your client is currently out on bail?
That is correct. I think I can agree to that. I'm pretty sure he won't mind.
Honor?
Did you catch all of that, Josh?
Oh, but it sounds like he's screwing me around.
Just relax. we're doing good right now. Just relax.
All right,
okay?
Mr. Gonzalez. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to grant a second continuance. There's going to be a court-ordered inventory of the evidence with your defense attorney, the DA, myself, and the chief of police attending that meeting, where I'm also ordering the LSPD to produce the missing body cam footage. Once that is set in place, then we're either going to move to dismiss or we're going to move to a jury trial. In the meantime, I'm going to order you to weekly meetings to report in with a court-appointed probation officer. No tests, no drug tests, anything like that. Simply just for you to report in as part of this process.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My mic was cutting out pretty bad. Can you start from the top there? My apologies.
Okay. We're going to have a court-appointed inventory of the evidence. At that meeting, myself, the chief of police, the defense attorney, and the DA will be in attendance. I am ordering the LSPD, court ordering the LSPD to produce the missing body cam footage. Once those two things are in place, it'll go one of two ways. It's either going to move for dismissal for lack of evidence, or it's going to move forward towards a jury trial. In the meantime, you are court appointed to report to a probation officer weekly for meetings. There will be no drug tests involved. There will be nothing more than for you to report in as part of this process.
Understood, Your Honor.
If you want to keep your bail and stay out, it's contingent upon you making those meetings.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then the court so orders those motions to be put in, and we'll grant a continuance. You can step back, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Come on, Josh.
Your Honor.
You can go and have a seat, Josh. We'll talk after.
All right. You said we also have Donald Tremble in the house. Who is the attorney for Mr. Tremble?
That would be me, Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and have him step up. Hello, Mr. Sharkskin. All right, so this case is about Grand Theft Auto, misdemeanor evading of law enforcement. It also looks like there's multiple charges in here. We also have another charge of possession of controlled substance.
What the crap?
Okay. Even though there's 3 charges in here, one of these arrest reports is blank, so we're going to throw that one out. So we have possession of controlled substance, Grand Theft Auto, and evading law enforcement. And it looks like they were both on the same day. No, they weren't. They were 2 weeks apart. All right. As usual, I'll hand the floor over to the DA.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, on or about the 21st of May, Mr. Gonzalez was arrested by 701 Captain Joseph Holt and Chief Wilson. Booked at Davis Station, was holding 15 bags of cocaine that were seized at that time. He was accused of attempting to sell the drugs to an older gentleman. Then the son pulled out a shotgun on the attempted drug dealer. The son did not have a gun permit and was summoned and released. Due to having 15 bags of cocaine, Your Honor, the state would move the court to amend these charges from misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance to possession with the intent to distribute at the felony level.
These were 15 individually packaged bags of cocaine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The official report states that Chief Wilson, 101, was the arresting officer. 701, Captain Holt, was the transporting officer.
All right. Is Chief Wilson available? I knew he was busy this weekend. I didn't know if he was going to make it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. What about the Grand Theft Auto charges too? 2 weeks earlier on what appears to be the 10th. Grand Theft Auto and misdemeanor evading.
Yes, Your Honor. The subject was a passenger in that vehicle. It was a stolen limo being driven by a female. A police pursuit ensued. The chase ended at the Tequila La over on Vinewood, I believe. There was a charge of evading law enforcement causing injury, so there were injuries sustained during that. These charges, Grand Theft Auto carries 16 months to 3 years. The state would seek the lower of that, since this gentleman was the passenger, not the driver, and would request at least 6 months jail time if convicted on the invading law enforcement.
Okay.
Well,
however, since he was a passenger, Your Honor, the state would entertain some lenience on these charges, but not on the possession with intent to distribute of narcotics.
Okay, fair enough. Defense, over to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Give me one moment.
Thank you for the stars, Benjamin. Appreciate that. Thank you for all the likes and shares, everybody. Well,
All right, Your Honor. With the evading law enforcement and the Grand Theft Auto,
okay, may I
as su-
remind you that according to my notes, when we granted this continuance, your client did plead guilty with the intent on having a continuance on the trial because I had advised him to, before he entered the plea of guilty and just accepted the charges, to seek out legal counsel.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. So we would like to change the plea to not guilty on a Grand
For
Theft
which
Auto and
charges?
evading law enforcement.
Okay.
As such, my client was a passenger in said vehicle. Now, due to the fact he was a passenger, he had no way to control the driver to stop the vehicle when they were being chased by law enforcement. From what I can read here, from what me and him spoke about, when the vehicle did come to a stop, he got out of the vehicle, did not offer off a fight. He did not try to run. He completely complied with the officer upon exiting the vehicle. Now, in my book, Your Honor, that's not someone who's trying to evade law enforcement. That's not someone who's trying to commit any acts of crime. I moved to either have those removed from this trial or to have them lowered to something less tangible.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state would be willing to entertain a plea bargain in return for Mr. Trimble pleading guilty to possession with the intent to distribute narcotics at the felony level, serving half the suggested or the maximum prison term. We would drop charges on the Grand Theft Auto and the evading law enforcement causing injury.
Okay.
Your Honor, would we be able to have a short 2-minute recess so I can discuss this with my client?
That would be fine, but before you take that recess, I do want you to know I do have confirmation of that amount of drugs having been confirmed in evidence. So from our end,
Understood.
as far as it's everything's very solid on that. So I'm willing to go with the DA's suggestion. The fine will be in full, minus the bond amount that's been paid already.
Understood.
And then, like I said, I am willing, if this is a deal your client is willing to take, then we will cut the jail time in half. And I'll amend it so that based on behavior, early releases and probation and parole is possible.
Your Honor, I believe the felony possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute carries a $20,000 fine maximum and the maximum prison term of 4 years.
Okay.
We would entertain it's a 2, 3, or 4 year sentence, with it being 15 bags rather than 150 baggies. We would be willing to entertain possibly 1/2 of the 2-year jail term as part of a plea bargain. However, we would be still seeking the felony conviction.
Correct. All right. Understood. All right, defense, you can have 2 minutes recess to confer with your client.
Thank you, Your Honor. Prosecutor, can I also speak with you out in the waiting area with my client?
Are we clear for a short recess, Your Honor?
Yeah, I'm going to order a short recess so people can go to the bathroom. Do what they need to do.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, court recess for 5 minutes.
Not over there, Loyal.
Yo, this is intense.
Sorry about that punch.
Yeah, no shit. Which
You
door? Okay, over
I'm
here.
right here. I was with Weber.
God, and we're not even up yet. And holy moly.
Yeah, no.
Say that
Let's
one
go
more time.
outside. They're trying to talk there. Yeah, let's go outside. They're
Yeah, I
trying to
noticed
talk.
that because he said Grand Theft Auto. So I'm like, oh, Meg should be next.
Oh shit.
Do you know if they handle like certain cases first and then like traffic stuff later, or is that?
This your first court case?
It is, yeah.
It's our first as well.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure what order they go through.
Hello.
I think they go
Hey,
through
Ryan,
the
can we
like
talk for a second?
almost like petty crimes first, and then they go to like the major ones.
Well, mine was definitely a petty crime. I just ran through a red light.
Oh, good, because I was charged for sex trafficking. So yeah, I'm worse than you.
So I was like,
Oh,
man,
look,
I'm like, oh, it's interesting listening through all of it, but like just a red light issue. This could be over with, you know.
Is Ryan outside?
I wish they would have just
No, I
gave me
think
like
he's
a
inside.
price to pay. I would have just paid it and went on my way.
Hey, look at Kiwi.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, that was kind of weird.
I'm a little confused because there's a cop car sitting there right where my truck was.
Yes, sir. Mine's
Oh, yeah,
for speed,
my
too.
car is also. I did delete my car before it gets towed.
Oh, mine's still there.
I don't know.
Hey guys,
That's kind of weird that it's just gone.
Where the hell did my bike go?
They despawn because when you teleport into the court, you're not here, so they despawn.
Oh,
Oh,
gotcha.
Any of you guys
Thanks.
would happen to know if I was a little too
Yeah.
late, was I?
Yeah, I did. I have no idea.
Ah, damn it.
I think
It's
that's
broke.
bullshit because your attorney said there was no bag, and then the other guy says there was a bag, but there's missing dash cam footage. So what is the truth?
I think we should start heading back in soon.
Yeah. Missing body
Yeah, I
cam
suppose.
footage. That is stupid.
Being in the side. Oh, Excalibur.
What's up, guys?
What do you think of the new TV?
What you guys up to?
The freaking wall. What's up, Nick?
Oh, I'm on trial today too. Let's see, is this the one?
What's this called, Meg? I just realized that I was charged for drugging the child I kidnapped when I never did that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm in here for something
My bad.
huge.
My bad.
Oh shit! Someone pissed a cop off.
He accidentally hit
Where's Toru?
Everybody
right now?
close your eyes.
I think she's inside.
Damn, assassination
Oh.
style.
Listen,
I took
everybody
the
close your
fucking
eyes.
grabs
Close
there.
your eyes.
I thought you were gonna
Assassinated.
scratch his butt or something.
No, that was Rebel's NPC clone.
Oh.
Hey, do you
All
need
right.
another client to represent
start
today?
heading back
Well, let's hope Josh gets something good out of this.
I absolutely do. Brian Maxton, nice to meet you.
Ryan Next, then, what were your charges?
You might want to look that up. There's quite a few.
All right, well then I will see you in the courtroom, and we'll take care of them. Okay?
If it makes it better, at the time I was possessed by the devil, so
We'll just do insanity. We'll do an insanity plea on you if we can.
Okay.
Hey, we can hear Tanner. We can hear you guys in the courtroom. You might want to turn to green out there.
Gotcha. Hey, press or go to green so we can talk in private.
Just curious, what's the blue one again? I can't remember.
Blue is
Blue
the
short.
shortest distance, like a whisper distance.
Okay, gotcha.
Stand right in front of the bench and then do /E space sit chair. Yeah, that's the best one. And stop that emote in the F1 menu, emotes, and clear.
Roll. Okay.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right.
We've had a chance to speak outside.
Okay.
Would be to dismiss the charges on Grand Theft Auto and evading law enforcement with injury. In exchange, we had requested that the defendant enter a plea of guilty to the misdemeanor possession of narcotics, pay the fine amount of $20,000 for the felony possession, and then be on 2 years supervised probation.
I'm making notes for myself here.
So he would only have a misdemeanor conviction, however, pay the felony fine amount, and have doubled the normal probation for that for 2 years rather than 12 months.
Okay, so we're talking a $20,000 fine, 2 years probation, no jail time, and but it's still going to be a felony conviction.
No, Your Honor, it would be a misdemeanor possession of narcotics. It would be a misdemeanor conviction.
Oh, okay.
The felony fine amount, and 2 years probation, supervised.
Okay. Defense attorney, are you? I understand you're good with that.
I am perfectly with it, and my client is good with it as well.
Mr. Tremble, can I get a vocal from you that you agree with that?
Your Honor, I do agree with that, sir.
All right. All right. The court so orders that that sentence to be carried out. It'll be a felony fine amount of $20,000. We'll drop the auto theft and evasion charges. It'll be 2 years probation. And then the official recording will be a misdemeanor conviction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Tremble, before you leave tonight, I do believe that the court-appointed probation officer is here. You will have to report to him with your defense attorney before you leave the building, and get the paperwork going on that. And then if you miss one meeting, if you do anything out of line, if you so much as harm the hair on a person's head, then we'll bring you back in here and we'll throw the book at you. We'll throw this plea deal out. You understand?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, 2 years and you can't screw up in the slightest, not even a parking ticket. All right.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
So,
I
go
believe it would be a good idea for this subject to submit to drug testing at least one visit per month at random
That will be,
selection of
yes, that
the
will
probation
absolutely
officer.
be part of it. That will absolutely be part of the deal. Is the probation officer present right now in the courtroom?
He's outside the door. I can let him know.
Okay. Just make sure that he needs to know he needs to meet with at least this person before the end of the evening, before he leaves the building. All right, that's the order of this court. We'll move on to the next case.
Again, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, looks like the other one we have is a Joaquin Guzman. Is that correct?
I have a Meg Simon.
Meg Simon. Okay, so I'm assuming Joaquin Guzman is not here.
Your Honor, Joaquin Guzman, from my understanding, is deceased. I don't have all of the information on that at this time, but it's believed that subject is deceased.
Okay. All right, the next one is Megan Simon.
Yes, sir.
All right, looks like the charge is one charge of reckless driving, misdemeanor charge. The narrative on the arrest reports, the suspect ran the red light directly in front of an officer, which was, once again, Officer Frost, then proceeded the wrong way down the interstate while traveling 80-plus miles an hour. What do you have to say for yourself, Miss Simon?
It's completely true. I'm not going to deny a thing.
All right. As far as I understand, it looks like it's a max of $900. Was that bail actually paid? Was that fine paid as part of the bail? Or were you released at the scene?
I was released. I haven't
Or
paid
after
it
the
yet.
arrest? Okay. So it's a fine of $900, and it's open to 0 to 90 days of for jail sentence. I'm inclined to go the max because driving the wrong way down a freeway at 20 miles an hour plus over the posted limit, you could have wiped people off the road that night. That's very, very dangerous and very irresponsible behavior. DA, do you have anything to add on this case?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave that up to your discretion.
Okay. Defense, so I'm assuming that your client is entering a plea of guilty.
I believe she is, Your Honor. I would, however, request that, due to it being her first offense, while it is a very bad offense, I would request that the court be a little bit lenient on her. While I don't think that getting off with nothing, if we could lower her jail time down to maybe half that time, with it being her first offense.
Here's what I'm willing to do. The fine is inescapable. It's going to be a $900 fine. Instead of jail, in lieu of jail time, we're going to go 90 days probation. But during that time, Ms. Simmons' license will be suspended temporarily.
Pending completion of probation?
Correct.
Is that acceptable to you, Meg?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Simmons, I hope I don't need to remind you that if you get caught driving during your suspension, then that's going to bring additional charges, and this plea deal is off the table.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Court so orders you to pay $900 in fines. Do you have that money on you tonight?
I have it in my bank. I would have to go get it.
Okay. All right. $900 fine. That is due before the next court session, which will be the last Friday in July at 8 p.m. 90 days probation. You'll have to meet with the probation officer before you leave tonight. Those are going to be weekly meetings. Those will include drug and alcohol tests. And are you gainfully employed right now, Miss Simmons?
Yes, I am. I'm a bank driver.
Where you're a bank driver. This kind of puts a wrench in that for you, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe you'll learn your lesson about driving properly and driving responsibly. Had this been down the right side of the freeway, this would be a completely different story. But I can tell you that at least 75% of your sentence is that was made worse by you driving on the wrong side of the freeway. Just because I can't abide by that. You've got families with little kids traveling down that freeway. It would have been very easy for you to change multiple lives that night, not just your own. So, all right. So $900, 90 days probation, weekly meetings, drug and alcohol tests, 90 days suspension of your license, and which will be reinstated after the 90-day probation is successfully completed and the fine has been paid, assuming it's been paid. If any of that has not happened, a bench warrant will be put out for your arrest, and you will have to do the rest of the time in jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so orders the court.
I have one more person that was added last minute, Your Honor, a Brian Maxton.
All right. Hold on just a second. Mr. Sharkskin? Is that Mr. Sharkskin over there?
No, he's not in the courtroom right now. No worries.
Okay. Give me a second too. This was a very recent one. Let me go ahead and take a look at these. All right. I am somewhat familiar with the case here. DA, go ahead.
Your Honor, this subject is alleged to have held 5 females hostage, one of which was shot there at the scene. He's also charged with aggravated battery causing serious bodily injury or death, assault on a public official, evading law enforcement in a vehicle, and is believed to be a pretty bad blight on society. Your Honor, he's a danger to the public and should not be out and about. We would seek the maximum on all charges.
Okay. Looks like on all the charges, the state police had made the arrests. Is there someone to testify here in court today on behalf of the state police? Looks like we've got the commissioner and then Trooper Rico.
Yes, Your Honor, Sergeant Rico's here.
All right, Sergeant Rico, if you'd step up to the witness box up here. Do we have any body cam footage on this particular case at all?
It has not been submitted to the prosecution, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Rico, to the witness box over here to my left.
This was a first setting for this case, Your Honor, so I haven't reviewed any body cam footage yet.
Okay. All right, Sergeant Rico. Looks like at least it looks like you were the observing officer for the charges of aggravated battery causing injury, assault on a public official, evading law enforcement. In the case of a disturbance at the gas station at looks like Postal Grid 602. This is the case where the subject was marked as potentially mentally ill, armed and violent, stated that he was the devil, making him spread the devil's word, etc., and so on. Are you familiar with that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Real quick, Chief, are you willing to act as a bailiff and swear in the witness here?
Yes, sir, I can do that.
Okay. Our bailiff is sick tonight. That's why he's not here. He has the corona.
All right, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, witness is sworn in, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Chief. All right, Sergeant Rico, let's go ahead and start with your recountance of that incident.
Sure. Yeah, so I was dispatched, me and a trainee, Ryan O'Connor, was dispatched out to a disturbance at the gas station. And we had a conversation with the subject who was staying on top of his vehicle, stating that he would get burned if he does not spread the devil's word. Long story short, we had him leave the property, and he did. And roughly about a minute later, he came back and opened fire on us. And then 1080 progress. It's a small chase, and multiple officers became involved, and then ultimately there was a shootout at the gas station, right back to the original scene.
Okay. So if I understand you correctly, after you had been in contact with the subject and advised him to leave the area, he left. And then he almost immediately came back and opened fire. Was it like a drive-by? Was it just shooting? Was it shooting near you, or did it appear that did you get the feeling that he was intentionally aiming at you with intent to harm or kill?
Yeah, I fully believe he was intending to kill me, myself, or the other officer that was with me. He was shooting from the vehicle as it was moving.
Okay, so it was a drive-by style shooting. And which time you and the other officers on scene entered your patrol cars and gave pursuit?
Correct. And then after the pursuit ended, we located the subject back at the gas station. More gunfire erupted. An officer was shot. It's better.
Did that officer survive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then at that point, at some point around then, you were able to take him into custody without any further incident?
That's where it gets a little strange, Your Honor. He was shot and was pronounced DOA at the scene, and somehow came back to life in the ambulance going.
Okay. All right. At this time, I'll turn it over to the DA if he has any questions for the witness.
Sergeant Rico, you stated that you believe the defendant intended to kill you or the other officer on scene, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
In your professional opinion as a law enforcement officer, would you consider this individual to be a danger to the citizens of the state of San Andreas?
Absolutely, 100%, without a doubt.
And the defendant standing at the table here, that is the subject you encountered that night?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, that's all the state has for this witness at this time, but I do reserve the right to recall on rebuttal if necessary.
All right. Defense, do you have any questions for the witness on the stand?
At this time, Your Honor, actually, you know what? I do. Permission to approach the witness?
You may go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you first approached the defendant, did he seem at all crazed to you? Did he seem at all just normal? Like, what kind of feeling did you get from him when you first approached him?
When we made initial contact, he seemed to be out of the norm, standing on top of his vehicle.
When you say out of the norm, how do you mean?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this line of questioning. Sergeant Rico typically encounters criminals who are behaving abnormal to normal society. I believe the defense attorney here is attempting to get Sergeant Rico to make a psychological evaluation in so much as Sergeant Rico is not trained in that area of expertise.
Okay, I'm going to sustain that. I agree. Be more concise in your questioning. You're borderlining on leading the witness, defense.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me rephrase that. When you first approached the defendant, when you look at a normal person for everyday society, going to work, coming home, doing stuff like that, when you approach them, most people seem down to earth. Evening, officer. How are you this evening? Stuff like that. When you approached him, did he seem to be acting like a normal person, or was he odd?
He was referring to somebody that wasn't physically there. That physical body he was referring to is telling him to do things.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right.
Prosecution has no further from this witness, Your Honor.
All right. Has there been any mental evaluation on this particular person?
I actually have here with me, Your Honor, if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to go ahead and pull out some paperwork. Mr. Maxton has been in and out of a few psychiatry places. He's been inpatient and outpatient. I have here with me from his psychiatrist and psychologist, you can call it a mountain of what they feel is wrong with Mr. Maxton. If you'd like, I can submit it as evidence to the state that Mr. Maxton is not exactly fit to be in public.
Okay, that's fine. We can you enter that in. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, this is probably going to end up moving to a jury trial. It seems to me that there is much more that needs to be considered here, including whether or not your defendant is competent to stand trial. Because as it sounds to me with what you said, that potentially that's the case. He's not competent. So here's, first of all, just for the record, Sergeant Rico, you do not have any legal professional training for assessing or treating patients with potential mental issues, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Have you received any training from the State Highway Patrol or the San Andreas Task Force on advanced de-escalation?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Just for the record, I wanted to put in that. You can go ahead and step down. Thank you for your testimony, Sergeant Rico. If the DA agrees, here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to recommend a continuance so we move towards a jury trial. During which time we're going to remand Mr. Maxson to Bolingbroke Penitentiary in the mental unit. I'm going to court order him to undergo additional assessment as to whether or not he is competent to stand trial. And then both parties, defense and DA, along with myself, we will have to meet and go over the results of that, as well as the previous medical history that you want to enter into evidence.
Prosecution would be in agreement with that.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Oh, well, I thought I was going to crash there for a second. I'm going to go ahead and order.
Uh-oh.
Your Honor.
I believe he thought right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yup.
He'll be back.
Court's out of session. Woo!
Quiet back there.
Anyone whose charges weren't heard today, you have to go to jail. Congratulations.
Okay.
That'd be what, like half of you?
Yup. Yup.
Forrest, just one of them good old boys.
But they did go from happy to sad real quick.
Oh.
Ah, shit.
That trooper looking up women's skirts.
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he is.
See.
All right, I think we're back. I don't know what happened, folks. My audio just crapped out on me. All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know. My character, my voice meter, or my computer just decided it didn't like my audio device anymore and deleted it.
Your Honor, before we continue, I did have a request.
Okay.
Instead of having him admitted to Bolingbroke, which I do understand they have a psychiatric area, I feel that with his level of insanity, I guess you could call it, according to his doctors, I don't feel that him being at Bolingbroke would be the safest option. I feel that if it were allowable by the court that he be admitted to Pillbox, they have a inpatient area specifically for people with mental issues where they have constant 24-hour surveillance. They can keep him in a locked room, and they can help him should he have another episode.
I'm very, very apprehensive to entertain that idea simply because the violence and the behavior that he's being seen for.
Right, and while I do understand that, Your Honor, what happens if he goes into Bolingbroke? Yes, like I said, they do have that facility where they can keep an eye on him and stuff like that. But there have been issues in the past in Bolingbroke, Your Honor, where people have been put there for similar issues. They've ended up dead. They've ended up killing other inmates. They've ended up harming, officers that are on duty there. While at Pillbox, they have the necessary equipment to ensure at that moment if something happens, they can put him under, they can put him in solitary, they can keep him separated from anybody if necessary. It's a safer...
Well, in all fairness, they can do that at Bolingbroke too. Right? And there he's not allowed to receive visitors.
I don't have friends or family.
DA, what's your take on this?
I'm torn, Your Honor. I understand the deep severity of mental illness. However, I'm sworn to protect the citizens of the state of San Andreas, and anywhere there's a risk of this man escaping custody until this is worked out makes me nervous. Bolingbroke is maximum security, where Pillbox, while somewhat secure, is not quite to the level of Bolingbroke.
I tend to agree with that.
Your Honor.
Here's what I'm willing to do.
We would have no objection, Your Honor, for allowing Mr. Maxon's current attending psychiatrist to visit him supervised there in the facility, supervised by the doctors on staff there.
Okay. Here's what I'm willing to do, defense. I'm still going to remand him to custody at Bolingbroke for the duration of his mental evaluation. Pending the outcome of that, we can revisit as to whether or not he is, whether or not the doctors feel that he is safe to be moved over to the mental ward over there at Pillbox.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I would like to just go ahead and say I am more than competent enough to go ahead and withstand trial. At the time, I was possessed by what I believed and what he called himself was the devil, and that is no longer the case.
Okay. Well, regardless, I still want you to undergo an evaluation. Just for the record, it's either going to be it's either going to be Dr. Cranium or the other doctor over there. I can't remember her name. It'll be one of those two. We can do, if we have armed guards available, we can do the evaluation at Pillbox. if that would be a more comfortable location. The other option is, until we're able to facilitate that evaluation meeting, the other option is for him to be remanded to county jail. Because setting up long term over there at pillboxes, that's going to take a quick minute to make sure that for a defendant with charges of this magnitude, considering all the issues and all of the details of the case, we can't just send him over to pillbox and then build up that program. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be airtight from the minute that he's remanded to custody there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to order a court-appointed doctor for a state-sponsored mental evaluation. Subject will be remanded to county jail until we can facilitate that evaluation meeting, and then we'll go from there. Once he has been cleared competent to stand trial, we'll go ahead and we will schedule another court date, and we'll move towards a jury trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you okay? DA, do you accept that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So ordered the court. We need to have the defendant remanded for the remainder. He can be transported immediately if we'd like to county jail. That would be fine, but he needs to be remanded immediately. So if we have an officer in the court, that needs to be handled.
Your Honor, I did see a deputy waiting outside. If you wanted me to go grab him, that's my last.
Yeah, well,
case.
That's fine. Let's have somebody grab him and get him in here. Chief, if you'd keep an eye on the subject there.
I got it.
Till the deputy can come in.
My ass is grass when it comes to Ahmel's turn.
Okay, while we're waiting, I'm gonna call the next one to be prepared. I hope I get this right. Lycan Opmau.
Right here.
All right. As soon as we get this subject out of the courtroom, then we'll have you approach.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, go ahead and stand up, please.
Hank, you got charged twice?
Different character, bud.
Jesus Christ, you got...
Hands behind your back, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Lycan, you can approach the bench.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll go ahead and put you back here until the end, and then I'll go ahead and transport you.
I'm getting ready to log out, man.
Taru, you okay?
All right.
James,
Let's see, this was the 9th of June. Have you had time to secure yourself legal counsel?
No,
Or have you
Your
attempted
Honor.
it?
I tried
You
and I
haven't?
couldn't
No,
get nobody.
Okay. All right. Well, the charges that you're facing right now is grand theft auto, and then a misdemeanor speeding. According to the narrative, looks like it was a sheriff's deputy. You were spotted swerving and speeding down Great Ocean Highway, and you also admitted to driving a vehicle that did not belong to you, and the plates on the vehicle were unconfirmed as to the legality and who they belonged to. But it did
Yes.
say that you were cooperative, so what do you have to say to yourself?
I admit I was wrong, and I do plead guilty.
You plead guilty? No. Okay, so you're not contesting the charges then at all?
No, I am not.
All right. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. This time I'm going to hand the floor over to the DA, and he's going to lay out what they're seeking in this case, and then we'll make a decision on that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead,
Thank
DA.
you, Your Honor. On the Grand Theft Auto, we would seek the fine of $10,000 with a minimum of 16 months in Bolingbroke Penitentiary in the Women's Ward. For the speeding, there's a simple fine of $238 on that.
Okay. It looks like it was under 10 miles an hour over the way they have it listed, the ticket.
Yes, Your Honor. Speeding is 1 to 9 over.
Okay.
It's vehicle code 22349.1.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Since you were cooperative and you were not charged with evasion, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to order you to pay the full $10,000 fine, and you're going to be remanded to Bolingbroke for the minimum of 16 months. Following successful completion, you will also be appointed to undergo another 12 months of probation after you get out, or parole after you get out. Assuming that you have good behavior, after 8 months, you will be eligible for early release.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, your license will be suspended indefinitely until you've completed your jail term, and then we'll look at reinstating it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. DA, do you have any argument against that? Oh, sorry, I meant to add. The ticket will remain on her record, but the court, due to the $10,000 fine, the court is not going to seek the $238 fine on the ticket. That will be just on there for record only.
Okay, Your Honor. For my notes, what was was she going to serve how much of a term of probation?
Minimum, it'll be 1 year, 12 months after release.
Okay.
She's eligible for early release after 8 months of good behavior. Otherwise, she does the full 16.
God damn it. Sorry, Your Honor.
Backspace on the menu.
Backspace key.
I hate my trackpad.
Backspace is your friend.
I literally hate my trackpad.
Okay, DA, that's good for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Where's the deputy? He'll need to remand her immediately.
I hear you, Your Honor.
Yep, go ahead and remand this woman. All right, the
Place your
court
hands
order
back,
is
please.
16 months, 8 months before you're eligible for early release. Upon release, 1 year probation, $10,000 fine. So orders the court. Next on the docket, Lafarga Tim K. Is he in the courtroom?
I believe he's in back, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I believe he's in back, Your Honor, in the cells.
Okay.
He was transported from lockup.
All right, ma'am, go ahead and stay there. Someone will be by to grab you shortly.
Understood.
Mr. Lafargo, where are you at? Place your hands behind your back for me, please. Turn away from me.
All right, looks like this this arrest occurred on the 23rd of June. The charges filed are evading law enforcement and speeding at 15 plus over the limit. The narrative by the sheriff's deputy McCoy, he noted that during his shift, your vehicle, Mr. Lafargo, was caught swerving on the road. Upon attempting to enact a traffic stop and get you to pull over, you fled. You were clocked in excess of 100 miles an hour at one point in the northbound lane on Route 13. At which point in time, the state dispatch issued a bolo. Later on in the evening, another officer from the LSPD noticed your car, confirmed it was the vehicle of the bolo, and you did stop for that officer. It also says that once they took you in custody, further investigation is required as suspect states you were not the driver of the vehicle. Have you had time to secure legal counsel, sir?
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
All right, and I'm assuming you're entering because of the your argument that you were not the driver of the vehicle they were looking for. That you're going to contest the charges and enter a plea and not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. DA, I'm going to hand the floor over to you. And it does look like Deputy McCoy here was the arresting officer initially. Or it was the arresting officer, so if we need to call him up, we can.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Okay, so there's two charges for Mr. Lafarga. He was picked up. A bolo had been issued up after that, where looks like 7-Eleven, which is Officer Frost, had originally attempted that pullover. He was later picked up and arrested by 606 McCoy.
Okay, gotcha. So LSPD was the initial spur for the bolo. Okay.
It would appear that way.
All right.
Or was it the other way around, McCoy?
No.
Let's do this. Let's
Mr. Prosecutor.
Deputy McCoy, let's go ahead and have you step up to the stand and get you sworn in while you're here. Might as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
While he's in the process of doing that, Your Honor, the state would attempt to prove that Mr. Lafarga violated Vehicle Code 2800.1, evading law enforcement in a vehicle with carrying a fine of up to $1,000 and a jail term between 0 and 12 months. Also, Vehicle Code 22350.3, speeding 15 plus over the limit, $750 fine.
Okay. You can proceed when you're ready, Chief.
Deputy, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Chief Wilson. All right. Deputy McCoy, do you recall this case at hand?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Would you go ahead and give your recountance of the case of what happened that night?
Of course, Your Honor. So I had just begun shift, maybe like 15, 20 minutes into my shift, when I noticed a vehicle, Mr. Lafarga's vehicle, wasn't going fast, but it was swerving. So I followed him for a little while. When he got on the highway, he started really swerving badly, so
You
I
lost it.
attempted to
Did
pull
you
over.
enter the door? It came
I
off
do
of you.
recall
You're good
that
now.
as soon as I got behind him, the car took off. It reached over 100 miles an hour. I couldn't actually keep up with him. I ended up calling off the chase and having a bolo issued for that vehicle. Now, I cannot say for sure who was behind the wheel at the time, but later that day, 7-Eleven came over the radio stating that he had found that bolo vehicle, the Killer 10 plates, at which point that I reached out over the radio and ended up meeting up with him to make the arrest.
Okay. And I'm assuming that it looks like that plate is registered to Mr. Lafarga, and you're testifying that plate indeed was on the vehicle and was used to confirm that the vehicle was the bolo vehicle, the subject of the bolo.
I can confirm, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you remember the kind of car, the make and model and color of the car that you had pulled over that night?
I don't remember. I didn't actually get a make and model on it. I know it was a sports car. It was a two-door black sports car.
Okay.
The same vehicle that 7-Eleven pulled over.
Okay. All right. And then at that point, so when the other officer had radio dispatch that he had eyes on that vehicle, then what happened?
I reached out to dispatch to confirm that I was the one that had issued the bolo. Dispatch gave me the location, and I met up with 7-Eleven.
Okay, so at that point in time, when you had reached the other officer, was the vehicle already stopped, or what happened then?
Yes, the vehicle was already stopped. It was for a completely different issue. 7-Eleven had stated that he had blown, I believe it was a red light, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the reason for the original stop from him.
Okay. All right, and was the subject taken into custody without further incident at that point?
Yes, Your Honor. He got out of the vehicle without a fight. I informed him that he was being placed under arrest for an incident earlier that day involving that vehicle. He did tell me that he had let his friend drive his vehicle earlier that day. Said there should have been 2 people in the vehicle when I attempted to pull them over. Again, I cannot remember if I saw 1 or 2 people in the vehicle or who was actually driving.
Okay. And did Mr. Lafarga provide the name and contact information for the other person that was allegedly in the vehicle that used it earlier that day?
Not that I can recount.
Okay. Mr. Lafarga, what do you have to say for that? If you claim it was not you and it was possibly your friend, why have you not provided any contact information or a name to police?
I believe I was told that I should deal with all that in court, and he told me to get a lawyer.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Assuming you can secure legal counsel, are you prepared to provide the name and contact information of the alleged person that used your car that day?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. So in other words, you're prepared to fully cooperate with the investigation from this point forward?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. DA, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you if you have any questions for the deputy.
No questions at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Deputy, you may go ahead and step down. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Here's what we're going to do, Mr. LaFarga. You're going to continue to be remanded until the next court date. Well, let me do this. Give me a second. DA, why don't you approach the bench real quick, please?
What was that last part?
No, I tend to agree with you, Your Honor. From all accounts of the reports, it seems that he cooperated with law enforcement once he was out. It is a misdemeanor charge that carries a maximum of 12 months. I would be fine with him being released bond pending, him court session. Correct. No, I'm fine with that, Your Honor. Thank you.
LaFarga, here's what's going to happen. I've spoken with the DA. Both of us believe you do not pose a flight risk. So we're going to offer you the ability to bond out until the next session. The bond amount, the total charges that could be filed against you, the total fines would be $1,750. That would mean that you would need to pay a bond of $175 in order to secure that bond. And then I'm going to add that your license will be temporarily suspended until the next court term or next court session. And I would advise you to not get in any more trouble. Don't get caught driving while you're on suspension, not even a parking ticket. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have access to the $175 here today?
I would need to get my money, sir. I don't have my clothes or anything.
All right. Well, we can make arrangements for that. Until that time, for the remainder of the session, we're going to be out here in about 18 minutes. So for the remainder of the session, you'll be remanded to our holding cell, and at which point in time we'll try to help you make some contingencies so you can get that money and get that bond paid tonight.
I appreciate that.
Okay, due to the fact we're running long tonight, any cases on serious charges that have not been called will be granted continuances till next session. Also, is there anybody here that is here to answer a vehicle or general citation for a misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
I'm over here.
Okay. Of those folks, is there anybody here that intends to schedule a case to fight it? Okay. Your stunned silence tells me no. So that I assume that those that are here to answer those tonight are here to pay the fines. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Kind of, yeah. I had a couple questions on it, but...
Okay. Questions meaning you're questioning the charges, or you're questioning it has to do with you paying the amounts?
Both.
Okay. Well, if it's a question to the validity of the charges, then that would be something that would fall under you disputing the charges. Are you disputing the charges in any form?
I don't see a fine amount on mine at all.
Okay, well, we can take care of that. What was your charge for?
It was just running a red light.
Running a red light. That's probably going to be less than a $500 fine. Probably, I think, around $250.
Okay.
What's your last name, sir?
Carlson.
No, Rooster got off.
Craig M.
Continuances till
Yes,
the
sir.
end of next month. I got 2 fucking fines to pay. 900 plus
Okay.
10,000. 10,900. Love you enough to have the money.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
it appears that this was entered into the system incorrectly as a vehicle citation rather than a violation, which is why the fine doesn't display.
I was just looking at that. It does look like it was for a commercial vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing I seen wrong on that was a license plate issue.
All right. Well, here's what we're
Your
going
Honor,
to do.
Your
Go
Honor,
ahead.
in light of the information being incorrect, the state would move to drop the charges, dismiss this case.
That's where I was going exactly with that. Chief Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. That would not be your deputy. It looks like it was a state trooper. Sergeant Rico, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you step up to the bench real quickly?
Sir. I can now, yes. Yep, I got you.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and drop the charges on that case due to incomplete paperwork. DA, just so you're aware, I have tasked Sergeant Rico with notifying his command and requesting that they address the issue.
Hey, stop crying.
All right, Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Carlson, we're going to go ahead and drop the charges on that, and you will not have a fine to pay. If there's future issues with the citation, I'll do my very, very best to make sure nothing happens. But if there's an issue, make sure that you let either the DA or the courts know.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Now, general citations, not vehicle citations, not moving violations. Is there anybody with civil citations they're here to answer tonight?
Your Honor, I'm not exactly sure where mine would fall in. It was a DUI charge.
Last name?
Bondurant. That's Bondurant.
First name Forrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I called you earlier. Did you just arrive or?
I arrived probably very shortly after you called me. The traffic was pretty backed up. I'm riding around on a bicycle now.
All right. Well, it's good you showed up because you were on the warrant list. I'll make sure you get removed from that. All right. So go ahead and step up to the defense table here.
Yes, Your
Honor. DA, it would appear that this was on May 21st. The charge is driving while intoxicated. It is a first DUI offense. Narrative, subject was observed swerving, traffic stop initiated on Elgin Avenue in Los Santos. Subject failed roadside sobriety tests, and the breathalyzer registered at a .21 BAC, which is quite high, actually. Trooper Rico is the arresting officer. He is in the court in case we need to call him. Mr. Bonder, how are you? Do you not have counsel at all?
I do not.
Okay. Are you wanting to proceed without counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So how do you plead to the charges?
I'm not disputing it. I mean, the evidence is all there, so I'd like to plead guilty.
All right. So you're pleading guilty, and then you're not contesting the charges in any form or fashion.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And it doesn't say that you were belligerent, so I'm assuming you were very cooperative. If I called the trooper up here, he would agree you were being cooperative on the stop.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it was definitely a city cop that pulled me over, though, for sure.
Okay. Well, we're worried about the arresting officer here, which was a state trooper. DA, I'm going to hand the floor over to you if you have anything.
Yes. I was just reviewing the paper. It looks like the arresting officer was Captain Holt with the LSPD.
Oh, was it?
Trooper Rico was the assisting officer. Backup.
Oh, yeah, I see that here.
If the defendant is willing to plead guilty, Your Honor, we would be fine with time served for any jail term, 6 months probation, and a 1-year license suspension, and a fine amount of $2,000.
Okay, Mr. Bondurant, have you served any time in county jail, or did you bond out fairly quickly?
I was bonded out the next day.
Okay, so you spent less than 24 hours in county.
Yes,
all right.
Your Honor.
Here's what I'm willing to do. Typically, for a first offense, I will sentence you to half the time served, or half the max allowable time to be served. So in this case, that would be 6 months. Okay. So what I'm willing to do is, since it's your first offense, it's not a felony yet, it's a misdemeanor. You're going to pay the full $2,000 in fines. You're going to serve 6 months without possibility of early release, and then you'll serve 6 months of probation after release. Your license will be suspended for the entire time, assuming that you serve your jail sentence and you complete your probationary period successfully. Your license will be reinstated at that time.
All right, yeah, that sounds good, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, that seems pretty cut and dry.
Okay, the DA, are you accepting of that?
That sounds good, Your Honor.
All right, so the court orders you to pay $2,000 in fines, serve 6 months jail term or sentence up there at Bolingbroke. After your 6 months, you'd be released with 6 months more of probation. And once again, assuming all of that is completed successfully, your license will be reinstated upon completion of your probation. So orders the court. Sheriff,
Your Honor,
go ahead and remand him. Yes, sir.
One question, is part of that probation going to be alcohol testing periodically?
Yes, sir. Drug and
Thank you, Your
alcohol
Honor, please.
testing.
So, Deputy, am I gonna get a phone call? I definitely gotta let my boss says this isn't how I saw this going.
Yeah, once you've been booked over at Bolingbroke, once they get you remanded in there, they'll give you your one phone call, and then every phone call after that will cost money.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey. Okay. Do we have any more people here that are here to answer civil citations?
I believe I am, Your Honor, but I'm not sure.
All right. What's your last name?
Jeffries.
What's going on, man?
Jeremiah.
Hey, we can
Yes.
have our meeting.
Man, I got 6 months. God damn it.
And to secure counsel.
What character is
Or
this?
have you attempted to?
It's Forrest. It's the
You've
one.
had plenty of time.
Oh, it's the one.
I don't have the
Yeah.
money for counsel.
Jesus.
I'm kind of broke.
Well, shit.
All right. Well, go ahead and step up
get
to
a
the.
court one.
Let's go ahead and step up to the table here. All right. It looks like the charge against you is indecent exposure in public. Looks like it's a misdemeanor with a $1,000 fine. Narrative. Looks like you were walking down the street. Someone had a caller had called 911 reporting indecent exposure. Officers arrived on scene. You stated to the officers, quote, "You did rub your meat juices on a female," end quote. You then attempted to flee on foot when you were tased and then taken into custody. You understand the charge is filed against you, right?
Mostly, like, I understand what they wrote, but what they wrote is inaccurate.
Okay, well, that's not the question I asked. I asked if you understood the charges filed against you, that you understand
Yes.
you're being charged with indecent exposure in public.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand it over to the DA, and then we'll move towards finding a resolution. DA, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, any person that thinks it's okay to rub their, quote, meat juices on another person, I would consider to be a danger to public health. We would seek the maximum fine of $1,000 and request the court consider a maximum jail term of 12 months.
Okay. I'm assuming that you're pleading not guilty or you're contesting these charges, Mr. Jeffries.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We do have public defender program available for those who cannot afford it. Are you formally requesting defense attorney through the public defender program, or do you want to answer these charges on your own?
I don't think that's smart. I want a lawyer. Yeah, I want one.
All right. Have you spent any time in jail? Did you bond out? How fast were you bonded out?
So I was in there for the weekend, and then so it happened on a day. I don't know. I just know I got out on Monday, the Monday after it happened. So I was in there for a few days, and then my brother actually came and got me out. I don't know what. I don't think he paid
Okay.
anything. I think it was just on a because they were full or something.
Okay. All right. DA, I assume you're seeking the max due to the nature of this charge.
Yes, Your Honor. It is a misdemeanor. It does not require, upon conviction, does not require the registration as a sex offender. But I feel like the state needs to send a clear message that this type of behavior is unacceptable.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right.
Oh,
Well, if you assign him a public defender as he wants to fight the charges, we'll call in. We'll summons Captain Holt from the LSPD to testify in the case, and we'll do a continuance till next session on this. I don't feel that Mr. Jeffries is necessarily a flight risk, but I will add this, Mr. Jeffries. 1 iota of issues out of you, especially anything similar or in likeness to this indecent exposure in public, and your freedom will be taken away. You'll be served with a warrant, and you'll spend the rest of the time until the next session in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
In other words, keep your hands out of your pants and don't engage strange females on the street.
Okay, Your Honor, I
Keep
won't
your
wipe
hands to
until
yourself,
trial.
as the famous band once sung. So we're going to go ahead and order that you're going to go ahead and continue to enjoy your freedom. Do not leave. Do not leave the city. Next month you'll be put on the docket, and we'll hear the case then. In the meantime, I will make sure that the court appoints a public defender for your case.
Okay, will I get notified by mail? Because I know they mailed me the all the information for court and that. Will somebody mail me who my defender is and that?
You'll be contacted either by my office directly with the contact information, or the public defender will take it upon himself to contact you directly and get in touch with you. Most likely it'll be the second one.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go ahead and grant a continuance, and the court so orders that you go ahead and step down away from the table. Okay, we're at our we're at our allotted time here. DA, is there anything else that we need to be seeing right away today that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. For those of you that are here today, again, if you were not called, you are granted an automatic continuance. Next month will be the third official session. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that date is going to be, let me look at the docket calendar. That's going to be, looks like that's going to be Friday, July 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who need counsel for your cases, you have 30 days to secure counsel. You see what happens when you try to defend yourself here. All right. Those that were called that were not here today, warrants will be issued. Also, the third session will be the first session that we post a prior docket, now that we have the docket system in place. So your name will be printed on the docket. It will be your responsibility to check the docket when it's released, and those will be the only cases we'll be hearing that night. So please do yourselves a favor. If you need attorneys, If you need representation, make sure you do that. For those of you who are here to pay fines, who have fines to pay, who have bonds to pay, you will be able to do that in the court clerk's office out front immediately following this session. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and end the session and call it closed. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't.
Liz Serena Colgate will be with you guys in just a minute. Just take it down.
Oh, I wasn't talking.
Yes, sir.
Buddha stream is ending. Giving. You guys can leave out.
He said we were pretty much good to go, or?
I think so. Can I get uncuffed, please?
Actually, fortunately for you, still on duty as a cadet, so I think I can do that.
I don't even think we're supposed to be out there yet. He said he's ending his stream in a minute.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got you. Whoa. Whoa.
Would have ended.
Fresh meat had it coming.
Mm.
You good now, Thor?
Yep. Matt Toru.
Okay. Damn, Meg. Sorry.
Right here, I'm coming. Let me get her.
I know the state does. Back on the case involved.
Where are my two clients at?
I'm right here.
Mr. Tremble, Mrs. Simmons, please come on over to the glass room.
I'm right here.
Excuse me, man. I gotta go talk to my lawyer.
Okay.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh, we don't.
hey, make sure y'all change your voice distance from red to
Can you
green.
hear me now?
Yes.
am changed to green.
Okay, me too. Yep, I was on blue.
I'm actually
I was
here
on
to
blue and that
pay
screwed me.
for Tim Lafarga.
Alright, so it's up to you which one of your clients you want to talk with
Okay.
about first.
You're gonna have to wait
Do one at a
until
time.
either you do that or wait until
Let's do
July 31st.
Mr. Trumbull first.
Long way ago.
Mr. Trumbull first. Okay.
Yep.
Ms. Simmons, if you can wait outside then.
Whenever you say Mr. Trumbull.
Okay, is you just bonding him out, or you paying the whole
Alright.
fine there, honey?
Just bonding him out.
So,
He said it
my
was like
notes show that the
170 or
judge ordered
something.
you to 2 years probation.
Oh, yes,
that correct?
175.
Yes, sir.
And weekly meetings, 1 meeting a month will be drug tested. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, so 2 years probation, game time, that's 2 months. We'll be looking at, within that time,
Hey, Mr. Alfarga, who's gonna pay
we're gonna
for you?
meet every other week. How's it going, sir?
Would you guys make sure you're on blue for your voice chat?
I just sent him a text.
Pretty please.
Oh.
Bobby, or you got somebody
It's
Okay,
Simone.
Mr. Clean, here your receipt is, honey.
All right, thank you.
Show that to the officer. They'll do his
officer?
bonding paperwork.
Jesus, when did
Girl, I
Tina
like
Turner
your
get
hair.
here?
Look the girl with the big hair. I like that girl.
Isn't that
Oh, thank you,
1980s
honey.
Tina Turner?
That's what I say. That look like Tina Turner hair, honey.
What's up, girl?
I still gotta talk to my parole officer, so I'll be a minute.
He's.
Okay.
And
I just
also gotta
already
pay my
paid.
900.
Yeah.
Well, y'all
Yeah, I
come
don't
round
know
over here
why
when you're
that
ready to
they
pay,
didn't
honey.
call me the same time they called you.
They didn't.
Told me to
Oh,
come
what,
tell
they
you.
should have.
So it's every Wednesday, 7 to 9.
So you'll be on for next week. Or next month.
Yes, I will. Yes, next month. Yeah. So where are you gonna go now?
I gotta talk to him, and then my other girl gets locked up.
Okay, got it.
I can't drive, so my
But
car's gonna have to get deleted.
Yeah, you'll have to use your other character.
I'm gonna have to use my doctor.
Hmm. How many characters do you have?
5.
Well, don't your other people have cars?
I think they do. I'll check it later, but I still gotta talk to him soon.
We'll wait for you right here, okay?
Right. I don't know how long
Yes, sir.
they're gonna be.
I know. Yeah.
Who else got some fines for the pay? I'm about to have to take a shit.
Let's sit over here.
I have to go get the money.
We need an ATM in here, actually, don't we?
Oh my god.
I'll try to get my car.
Oh.
Well, there went Rebel.
At the time.
Y'all might not want to go outside.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Massive car
Ready to pay your
explosion.
fines?
I gotta go get the money. There was a major car explosion outside.
How frequently did
Hate
you
when that
use
happens.
cocaine?
Literally right in
Are
front
we
of
really
my
having
At
that
least 3
problem
times
again?
a day.
Yup.
3 times a day. Okay.
I literally just watched it, Buddha.
It always
Are you
does it
using your
here.
car outside, Toru?
I don't know what
It's
it
like
is.
there's somebody with the
And you said you've
population
been
that's all
sober
the way
since
up.
that, so you don't have an issue.
I mean, that's not a 900. E. I made 30K.
Definitely will, thank you.
I put that suggestion in for you.
You got it, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, now I
Miss
got
Simmons,
money.
they're ready for you.
Okay, what your name is?
Meg Simmons. Meg Simmons.
Hey, Meg Sugar, I'll wait for you outside, okay?
Okay.
Okay, look like it's 900.
Okay, and I have that. How do I give it to you?
In the F1 menu, there's a give money option. Just make sure I'm the closest person to you.
Gotcha. Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm writing out the notes now.
And then I got 10,000 on that now, but I'll pay her next. Sorry about that. Had to run and get money. Ready whenever you gentlemen
I'm gonna
are.
go.
Whenever you gentlemen are.
I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. If you guys want to get started and see if I can get him to make a special exemption specifically for work,
Okay.
so she doesn't lose it.
Okay.
My
Okay, I'll
name
be right back,
is
guys.
Donald Tremble.
Okay. Rebel, whenever you're ready.
The judge said 20,000.
My bad. My bad.
I'm over here talking to myself. Alright, so you can hear me,
Did
right?
you get the money I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my records show you have 90 days probation.
Okay, man. Thank you.
What'd you find out?
He's on blue.
Thank you, man.
Yep, go on green, sir.
I don't. Are you
Y'all
guys
have a
on
nice
blue or
day.
no?
No.
No, I'm on green.
Okay, so I spoke to the judge. He said the first of the week we're gonna have a meeting. I don't know if you need to be there, Miss Simmons. I'd be there just in case. I'm assuming we're gonna meet here. Try to be here on Monday. I'll shoot you next when I find out what time we're meeting. We're gonna try to get you a special exemption where your license will be suspended for personal use and anything else other than work. So for work, you'd be able to drive for your job in your work vehicle only. Like I said, we'll hammer out the details on Monday. I'm assuming you're gonna want to be there too, as her probation officer.
Yep, I want to be there just so that I can hear everything that's said for my records, so that I can make sure I follow what the judge puts in place. You said that is this coming Monday, correct?
Yeah, he said this coming Monday we're gonna have a meeting about that.
Do we know a time at this time or not?
I don't know as of yet. If I hear anything, I will email it. I'll forward the email from the judge to you.
Okay.
That way you have it, and then I'll also do the same for you, Meg.
Okie dokie.
That sounds good to me. So from this time until that meeting, and right after that meeting, we can kind of sit down and talk again, depending on what changes or what doesn't change. Most of it isn't going to change. So it's a 90-day probation, no license for that time unless the judge will do a specialty license. There's also weekly drug and alcohol testing.
Yes.
Now, the meeting times for my office is Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. And that will be every Wednesday for you. And that's Eastern time. If you are not able to make one of those meetings in a week or whatever, within 24 hours before your meeting, I need you to reach out to me. There's business cards on the table that you can take that'll have my cell number. I need you to reach out to me 24 hours in advance before the meeting that you're not going to be able to make with a reason on why. And then we will get together to make a special circumstance for you, possibly meet on another day, or do something like that. With the weekly drug and alcohol testing, I will have to reschedule the appointment. I won't be able to just do an appointment by phone, because I can't do a drug or alcohol test over the phone. Your first meeting's gonna be next week, so 2 days after the meeting with the judge. Will you, from this point, the question I'm going to ask you is not going to hurt your case. It's just something that I need to know so I can get on top of it if you do. That first drug and alcohol test, do you know for certain that you're going to fail it? Have you used any drugs or anything?
Excuse
I
me,
have not used any drugs, so I won't fail it.
Okay.
Just
Hey,
don't show up
ma'am.
drunk to the test either.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I need you to
please
come
don't.
I need you to come pay that fine. We're closing court up down here.
Okay, I'm coming.
You can
We
go
gotta
pay
go.
that. I'll be right here.
Yep, it's from my other character.
Yep, you go do that.
Alright.
My fear
All that
is that
slip
Damn
my
girl,
mind.
don't-
Oh, look
oh,
at that.
Lord.
Oh, now you got to pay for
an
monitors.
alcohol tether on her.
I'm
And
gonna
then
have to add
painted on pants.
$152.97 for that
may be
monitor.
something that may help her get this license as an alcohol tether that would
Alright, so I'm paying for half
go
my
off
license.
if she were to have any alcohol in her system. It
Right.
would go off and
You
send
got to
me
tell
a
me in English, honey. I
notification
don't know
immediately.
nothing about all
Unfortunately,
that.
those aren't cheap, but
What her name
if
is?
that would help her get this special circumstance maybe
Bitch,
that
I'm
would
What?
out.
Whose
Whose
There
name?
you go.
because I really
Mao.
don't want to see her lose
Mao
her
Mao.
job
Well,
over a
Well,
mistake.
license.
the problem with that though is going to
Malaikin.
be it's a company issued
Sounds like
vehicle. If she's a bank
sounds
driver, it's
like
not like
a Wakandan
It's
witch.
untight, honey.
Okie dokie.
I found.
Yeah, I switched the blue.
Oh, good lord. Rye or Onyx, you guys streaming tonight?
Not me. We're leaving tomorrow. I got to get.
You get some rest.
All
I
right,
don't
looks
know if
like
I'll be
your
streaming.
fines
And if I do
is,
stream, it'll be just me
10,000.
doing map work.
There you go.
Just you and the wife, or are you taking the kids with you?
There your receipt is, honey.
Thank you. I gotta go back over there.
Dudes.
Later,
Oh, yeah, it's
guys.
just me and the
Good
wife.
job.
Later.
You know,
Thank you.
that could
Hey,
set
dude,
this
what I'm
off.
doing is in
but
the
again, that
notes
would
of
be
the
up to
narrative on
judge.
these, not a separate
Of course.
thing. I'm
I just
putting
don't want to see
notes
her
in
lose
there,
her job over a
you know,
mistake. I
find
mean,
receipt
because it was her
and
first
date
offense,
and
correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
the first
is.
one on the record that I saw.
It is.
That's what I figured since she didn't get any jail time. So that's my only thing, is I want to see her succeed. I don't want to see her back in court, as I'm sure you don't. But we will have to do those weekly drug and alcohol tests. Make sure you are not drinking, you are not doing drugs. The first test that comes up positive, at that point, I would have to submit a report. It would go right to the judge, and he could immediately put out a warrant for your arrest for not
yeah, I
listening
think
to
we can
the
set up a custom report.
rules, basically of the probation. All right.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay. That's all I have. Do you have anything else, sir? Any questions or anything for me? Either one of you guys?
Nope, I understand everything. What about you? Probably on blue again.
I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
I know everything that's going on. I'm still going to be in touch with you. If you need anything else, I will have my office send over your invoice for this. Since really nothing happened, it's not going to be that expensive.
Okie dokie. I appreciate you coming last minute, dude.
Not a problem.
Charge you more for that.
Well, I'm still going to charge her, but I'm not going to charge her like an asshole.
Max Turner.
I will see both of you at the meeting then on Monday.
Okie dokie.
We'll get that figured out, and we'll get these
Yeah, that was the one case I had tonight.
weekly meetings going.
He got a
All right, cool.
Yeah, he got a continuance from last time.
Ooh, that was a close one.
Was there?
No, I was
kidding.
here. I was just waiting for you to call his case. It was going to be him tonight. Yeah. Oh, I thought you was. Okay, well, I thought somebody in the court had my character on, and you saw him and called him out. So I didn't break the role play on that. What I call that? Like a mini court date for like tickets and shit?
Just
Yeah.
traffic court.
Yeah. clear a lot of them
Buddha,
up.
those explosions are happening all over the city.
Yeah. It's gonna happen until we're all out of this area.
Right. Alright, I gotta go find my two friends, because I can't drive.
I don't have to pay. I have a question.
Oh, okay.
That's the paroled officer.
Yep.
There you are.
We were out. I know, a lot of explosions.
There you are.
Chauffeuring.
Alright.
$10,900. And we need to get the fuck out of this area.
Yeah. And what about Rebel? I hope he's calm.
He's in there talking Buddha.
The garage is on the other side of this block, so...
Yeah, and Rebel's car got exploded.
Oh boy. Poor Rebel. So I just spoke... I just spoke to Buddha about mine. He said just come back to next court for it.
Told you.
Yeah, because he said he's going to, for now, he's going to go through the CAD, the CAD that we have our name.
Away by a cop right now.
Oh, gee. And you had enough money for that.
I'll let you later.
Wow. Wow.
What's this called? Maybe we should totally go to your apartment and change our clothing to something more comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, remember I tried to invite you in my apartment last time and it didn't work.
Could you press number lock? Yeah, when you press the number lock, there's a plus on your, you know the little keypad next to...
Unlocked. When it's locked, it doesn't
weird.
work.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, we can go to my apartment. Yeah, could you just go get a car? I'm talking to you.
Fuck along.
I know, and that's what Buddha was saying. Yeah.
Have to meet us later.
Yeah. He said there was supposed to be a meeting today, so our date's gonna have to be later. I don't know. He didn't tell me. I'm gonna speak to him again later. Great, let me get the map to my house. Hang on. Okay, I did it.
Do you see what my plate says?
Lovely. I'm gonna. Well, I know. We got lucky, but I still think.
I know. Yeah, I think on the way there's a gas station.
Okay. And yeah. I'm gonna message my boyfriend and tell him where we're gonna be at.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just go there.
So what do you guys have planned for today? Like, are you guys gonna do anything?
I think we have a lost meeting.
Yeah, I think we have a lost meeting. I'm not sure, but I was supposed to have a date with Rebel, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
Aw, really?
Use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
By the way,
Okay.
I'm still recording.
Because he
Why won't
said
that
that
happen?
there. Okay. He said there's a meeting coming around today. So I'm just gonna
Oh,
message
that's
him real quick.
fine.
Yeah.
You guys were gonna have a date, and then that happened. Oh, sorry about
Yeah. We had a little date yesterday when I came on for a little bit, but I'm not good at knowing all the areas, so I'm gonna message him and tell him to meet me at my house.
that. Oh my god.
Stop the car. Turn around. He said he'll be out soon. Can you please turn around and go back?
Oh yeah, back into that. Okay.
I'm sorry, but he just messaged me. He'll be out soon.
Oh my god, we're gonna die. I'm gonna have to take a detour. I'm gonna have to take a detour.
Yeah, take the detour, whatever. Just, you gotta get up there. Tell him we're gonna be outside, out front.
Meg, who are we racing with the other night?
I just told him we're out front in the black car. And we're gonna pick him up. He just messaged me telling him he'll be out soon. That's why we came around. Yeah. Looks like it's all going to the left, that side over there. I'm gonna keep it on red. I had it on blue. Yeah.
Yep.
I see that.
I had to take a detour through the area, so you're welcome for not
You
getting
might
it, guys.
you might need to move up a little bit more.
I can't block.
Right here is
crosswalk,
good.
it's
Right.
illegal.
Good.
Below!
Those buses are out of control.
It's all the bus's fault.
Train? Only losers take public transport.
Also, there's so many NPCs in the street this day. What the hell? That bike just exploded!
Yeah, no shit.
Did you see that?
Oh.
I got it on
Good job.
I mean, when you were AFK for sure, we passed by the area where it was blowing up, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this thing's getting posted
These
uncut.
buses.
Unedited.
Okay.
These buses are giving me PTSD.
Were you able to put the one that I made up?
Yeah, I posted that shit from my phone, honey. I downloaded that shit on my phone and I posted it from my phone.
Good. And you watched it? Did I do good or what? Sorry.
But that's alright.
Where's Rebel?
I know. I'll message him again.
These busters are spawning like bunnies. And if it continues, it's gonna spread right to this area where we're parked.
Oh, it's already hit here.
Exactly. So we're in danger.
I just messaged him. I just messaged him. I said, "Babe, please hurry up. There's lots of explosion out here." Oh, Onyx just. Oh boy, a lot of people are leaving.
It should die down soon.
Yeah.
We got so many fucking people on the server, it's not even funny. I think this is the most.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes.
Yeah, there were so many people inside the courtroom. That was so cool.
What up?
Nothing much.
Blowing shit
Oh
up.
my fucking god,
Good.
there's
A
so
shit
many
ton of
goddamn
explosions.
I know.
Yeah, it's because someone over there had their population density up. Make sure you guys have your population density turned up in your settings.
Usually my population's all the way down.
I don't even know if I have mine set up. How do I check that?
Okay, that means it's all the way up. Hit escape. Go to settings. Go to, let me find where the fuck it's at. Go to graphics. Go down just under VSync and pause game on focus loss. Make sure your population density is all the way down. All the way to the left.
There, I did it also. Mine was all the way up. Also.
Mine all the way up, but mine half. So I put it down.
Okay.
Mine was
Yep,
up
those
as well.
have to be all the way down.
Mine was up as
Yep.
well. Like
So that's
a dumbass.
probably causing the AI being dumb. Well,
yeah. So, you said there was going to be a meeting tonight or something?
Do what? Where else was
You
that?
said there was going to be a meeting tonight or something?
No.
No. Okay.
No, we ain't got the people. We
You
got,
know what that
2
means
people?
then, Taru?
Date? Yeah, date.
Taru told us about your little
There's
date.
still a cop on the fucking server.
Well, we're far from them.
There's 2.
One's Excalibur.
It's you're good. Yep. X is probably leaving out his rookie for
And we
fucking
have
up that
time.
paperwork.
We have time if you want to go on our date. If you want.
It's up to you.
We're gonna stop at
Yeah,
my
just
house
charging,
anyway,
yeah.
cause I have
We all
there's a
gotta
garage
change.
right across the way.
I
Yeah.
I'm just charging my car real quick.
$900 fucking dollars tonight.
Sucks to be you.
I don't even have
I
that
had
much
a-
on me,
Half of
period.
these two go to jail too next month.
What are you doing right here?
He's
Charging
charging
my
his
car.
car. It's an electric car.
Wimp.
I have one too.
Electric car. What's wrong with you people?
Well, you might want to fix your car.
I
bud.
like fishing cars. It's broken. I don't see it broken on my screen, but I'll fix it.
It's on mine. You're right. Yeah. There you go. I think Sherry wants to meet up with hers. I don't know.
Well, me and Rebel need to go on our date.
Yeah, well, I can't drive.
Yep.
Don't worry, I got something planned.
So is that
As
your
these two
lost
do on their
character?
date. What?
Is Meg her lost character?
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
No bite for you.
Right here.
Yeah, I know. Which means somebody's stuck picking me up. Buddy.
If we're doing club business or club ride, then he can't pick you up.
True.
What was your number again, Taru?
12.
I can always remake my
No, you're good. It's literally 3 weeks.
Yeah, and since I've already paid the fine.
Ow!
I just fell out of your house.
Pad. Literally hate my fucking trackpad.
God. I love it.
Wait, what happened to Rebel?
I don't know.
Did you get him in?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what happened.
Oh, don't tell me he fell through.
I think he fell through.
I think he fell
Are you
through.
kidding me? I better message him.
He's probably saying, what the fuck?
Message him when I get changed. Hold on.
Neither my Afmal or my Meg can drive. So I'm stuck with a Claire. Okay. Where'd the fuck everybody go?
I'm ready. You ready?
Sure. Oh fuck.
As you just
That's
wham
on
her
my
in the
control.
fucking face.
It's okay.
You
I
went
deserved it because I punched him by
totally white
accident.
in the face in court.
Hey, at least I'm not the one who killed
Yeah.
Rebel.
I killed him by accident.
By the way, I think that on video too. So
Alright, let me take my
What the
medicine and
hell?
then we'll go.
My gas is half empty now. What the hell?
Told
Do
you.
it.
But I filled it. What's this called? Put yourself in blue.
So you wanna go check?
Alright, I'm in blue, so what's your freaking plan?
We're gonna follow them. Okay?
No!
See where they go.
You can on your own.
You can't get in a car!
On this character I can, you bot! gonna get off here.